Good morning, everybody. Myself, Dr. Rastemen, Department of Chemistry. Today we are discussing on the topic petrochemicals from the paper number 5, Industrial Chemistry and class TYBSc. Today we are discussing on the topic petrochemicals. The content of topic is introduction, composition and resources of petroleum, processing of petroleum, various terms like calorific value of fuel, cracking, octane rating, cetane number, flash point, petrochemical application, synthetic petroleum, lubricating oil and additives. Petrochemicals. Let us see the introductory part. The word petroleum is derived from the Latin word petra, that is rock, and olefin, that is oil. Thus, petroleum is an oil obtained from rocks. Petroleum is a mixture of hydrocarbon, that is hydrogen and carbon. Petroleum is one of the important sources of power. In the modern era, demand of petroleum has been increased tremendously. Petroleum is one of the largest chemicals of all industries. Petroleum provides the fuels like kerosene, gasoline, diesel, etc. and consumer products like the wax, lubricating oil, etc. Petrochemicals includes the wide range of various substances like fertilizers, explosives, carbon blocks, pigments, synthetic rubber, plastic, etc. Petrochemicals are chemical products derived from petroleum. Some of the chemical compounds are obtained from fossil fuel such as coal or natural gas or new sources such as sugarcane or corn. Commonly petrochemicals are of two classes. Number one, olefins. It includes ethylene and propylene. Whereas second, aromatics, it includes BTX. It is the short form of benzene, toluene and xylene isomers. Oil refineries produces the olefins and aromatics by fluid catalytic cracking of petroleum fractions. Chemical plant produces the olefins by steam cracking of natural gas, that is liquid like ethane and propane. Aromatic are produced by catalytic reforming of naphtha, that is various volatile flammable liquid hydrocarbon mixture. Olefins and the aromatics are the blocks for wide range of materials such as solvents, detergents and adhesives. Olefins are bases for polymers and used in plastic, resin, fibers and lubricants. The largest petroleum industries are located in USA and Western Europe, but presently the major growth of production capacity is seen in Asia. Let us see the occurrence of petroleum, that is the source. Petroleum is found normally at more depth underground or below sea beds. Petroleum and the natural gas are formed by anaerobic decomposition of organisms like phytoplankton and zooplankton, which are at the bottom under large deficient O2 condition. Millions of years ago, organic matter mixed with the mud got buried under heavy layer of sediment. The resulting high level of heat and pressure, organic matter convert into chemicals. Firstly into waxy material as kerosene, which found in oil cells. Due to heat, it converts into liquid gaseous hydrocarbon by the process known as catagenesis. On the other hand, terrestrial plants forms coal, methane and type third kerosene. Petroleum chemicals occurs in the fossil fuels. They are formed by the natural process such as anaerobic decomposition of buried dead organism before millions of years. Petrochemical contains a high percentage of carbon and includes coal, petroleum and natural gas, that is methane and propane. Then composition of petroleum and the processing of petroleum. The important product of petroleum refining is liquid fuel. The calorific value, that is heat liberated, of petroleum is about 40,000 kilojoule per kilogram. Petroleum is a complex mixture of various hydrocarbons. It includes saturated, unsaturated, cyclic and aromatic hydrocarbons. Crude petroleum is thick viscous oil. It varies in color, green to reddish brown to dark brown. It is lighter than water. It also contains a small amount of compounds of nitrogen, sulfur, dissolved gases, liquids with low, medium and higher boiling point, and solids as well as semi-solids. Hence, the crude oil obtained from mine is not fit for use. To remove the different impurities, it is separated into number of useful fractions by fractional distillation method. Next, about the refining of petroleum. The process by which the petroleum is separated into different fractions having different boiling point is called refining of petroleum. Let us see, this is the figure for the distillation of petroleum. This is the long cylindrical tank. Then in this the crude oil is fed and it is heated, and there will be the formation of a different fractions at different temperature, like the petroleum, ether, gasoline, naphtha, kerosene, then uncondensed gases, etc. With reference to this figure, let us see the procedure. Crude oil is pumped under the pressure to cylindrical tank through underground pipes. In this tank, emulsion, that is mixture of liquid, is allowed to settle. As a result of it, emulsion is broken into two separate layers by heating. Oil separated as top layer, while the wet sand, that is the sand and water, forms the lower layer. Both layers are separately taken out. The crude oil, that is the top layer, is then heated to about 400 degrees centigrade in an iron retort, that is the tank. The hot vapor coming out of the retort are passed up to tall vertical tower called fractionating tower. The tower fitted with large number of horizontal trays at short distances as shown in figure 1. Each tray is provided with chimney which are converted with loose caps. As vapor goes up, they become cool and fractional condensation takes place at different height of fractionating column. High boiling fraction condense first and low boiling fraction condense turn by turn. The residue left in the retort above 400 degrees centigrade is black and tar mass called pitch, used for making the paint, road making and waterproofing of roofs. The petroleum gas consists of mainly volatile hydrocarbons such as methane, ethane, propane, butane. The gas can be liquefied under pressure and sold as bottle gas. It is known as liquid petroleum gas, that is LPG, used for domestic purposes. Then different fraction of petroleum and their uses which are given in this table. Let us see the composition of petroleum from the fraction obtained by distillation of crude oil and their uses. This table represents the fraction, then boiling point, composition and its use. Let us see the first, that is uncondensed gas. This is the fraction. Its boiling point 0 to 30 degrees centigrade. Composition CH4, C4H10, and it is used as domestic or industrial fuel, that is LPG and carbon black. Then gasoline, it's used motor fuel as well as dry cleaning. Then kerosene oil, it is used for the fuel and for making the oil gas. Then diesel oil is used for diesel engine oil. Heavy oil, it is used to obtain the gasoline by cracking. Then paraffin wax, it is used for the shoe polish. Then pitch, used for road making, proofing of ropes. These are the fractions which obtained from the distillation and their uses. Now see the classification of petrochemicals. Petrochemicals are divided into the three groups on the basis of their chemical structure. Number 1, olefins, 2, aromatics, and 3, synthetic gases. Let us see first, that is olefins. They include ethylene, propylene, and butylene. Ethylene and propylene are important source of industrial chemicals and plastic products. Butadiene is used in making the synthesis rubber, that is synthetic rubber. Second, aromatics. They include benzene, toluene, and xylene, that is BTX. Number 1, benzene. It is used as a raw material for the dyes and synthetic detergent. Toluene is used as a raw material in manufacture of benzoic acid and TNT. While the paraxylene is used as a starting material for terylene fibers. Xylene is also used to produce the plastic and synthetic fibers. The next, naphthalene. It is employed as a starting material in manufacture of phthalic acid, alpha-naphthol and beta-naphthol, naphthylamine. Next, pyridine. Pyridine and other tar bases are used in manufacture of dyestuff, intermediates, accelerators in vulcanization of rubber and for manufacture of pharmaceuticals. They are also used as solvent. Another, phenol, cresol and xylenols. They are used to prepare salicylic acid, aspirin, phenacetin, etc. Phenol is used in manufacture of adipic acid and as material for nylon. Then synthetic gases. It is a mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen used to make ammonia and methanol. Ammonia is used to make fertilizer like urea, while methanol is used as solvent and chemical intermediates. Now see the resources, petroleum feedstock sources. The major hydrocarbon sources used in producing the petrochemicals are as follows. Number 1, methane, ethane, propane and butane. These are primarily obtained from natural gas processing plant. Second, naphtha, obtained from petroleum refineries. Third, benzene, toluene and xylene, referred as BTX, primarily obtained from petroleum refineries by extraction from the reformate produced in catalytic reformers. Next, gas oil obtained from petroleum refineries. Methane and BTX are used directly as feedstock for producing petrochemicals, whereas ethane, propane, butane, naphtha and gas oil act as optional feedstock for steam crackers in furnace that produces intermediate petrochemicals feedstocks like ethylene, propylene, butenes and betadines and benzene. Now see the fuels. The major petrochemicals are used as fuels. Fuels are naturally occurring or manufactured combustible organic substances which act as heat energy or raw materials for chemical industry. Industries require power for their routine operations. Heat energy is the main source of power. Therefore, those materials used for production of heat energy are termed as fuel. Okay, now see what is fuel. Fuel can be defined in the different forms. First, any source of heat energy is called as fuel. Second, any substance which by oxidation is made as a source of heat for particular purpose is called as fuel. Any combustible substance which may burn to supply the heat that can be used economically for domestic and industrial purposes. Now see the modern concept of fuel. It is not necessary for the fuel to undergo combustion or oxidation. For example, electrical energy when used as a source of heat is also called fuel. Nuclear energy may also be used as a source of heat. Therefore, the modern definition of fuel as a fuel is any fissionable material which produces energy in the form that can be used for producing the power. This is the modern definition. Now see the classification of fuel. This table represents the physical state and the origin of fuel, and on this basis the fuels are classified. Let us see from state, what is its state, whether it is a solid, liquid or the gas. Then from origin, means what is actually its origin, and artificial fuels. Let us see first solid fuels. Coal, wood, sails, peat, ignite is the origin of the solid fuel, and from it the artificial fuels prepared are the charcoal, wood, coke as well as petroleum. Second, liquid fuels. Origin natural gasoline, crude petroleum, and from these artificial fuels prepared are petrol, kerosene, diesel, oil, coal tar, alcohol as well as gas oil. Third type, gaseous fuel. Its source is natural gas, and the artificial fuels producer gas, water gas, coke gas, coal gas, oil gas, blast furnace gas, acetylene, hydrogen, LPG. Now see the artificial or the synthetic fuel is prepared by processing the natural fuel by different ways. For example, Natural fuels like the coal, wood, sails, peat, petroleum, natural gas, etc. are known as primary fuels, whereas coke, charcoal, petrol, kerosene, coal tar, producer gas, coke oven gas, compressed butane, etc. are called secondary fuels. Secondary fuels are therefore produced by processing the primary fuels. The industrial fuels, they are classified as number 1, power generating fuel, used in power plant for generating energy. Second, process fuel, used in industrial furnace and dryers to produce the heat which is needed in various industrial processes. Now see the properties of good fuels. A good fuel should possess the following properties. Number 1, high calorific value. The calorific value of fuel is the amount of heat produced by complete combustion of unit weight or volume of fuel. A fuel with high calorific value is more useful. In case of the solid liquid fuel, the calorific value is usually expressed in BTU, that is British Thermal Unit per pound or calories per gram. 1 calorie per gram equal to 1.8 BTU per pound. Second, in case of gaseous fuel, the calorific value is expressed in BTU per cubic feet at 60 degree Fahrenheit and 30 inch pressure of mercury. 1 calorie per cubic meter equal to 0.1077 into BTU per cubic feet, and 1 BTU per cubic feet equal to 9.3 kilocalorie per cubic meter. Moderate ignition temperature. The temperature at which solid, liquid and the gaseous fuel catch fire and continues to burn without further heat is called ignition temperature. It is also called as ignition point. The value of ignition temperature decreases due to presence of moisture and foreign materials, that is impurities. If the ignition temperature of fuel is low, it is easy to start fire, but it is dangerous for storage and transport. Second, if ignition temperature of fuel is high, it is difficult to start the fire, but it is easy for storage of transport. Therefore, an ideal fuel should have moderate ignition temperature. Third, moderate velocity of combustion. Temperature attained by combustion in case of particular fuel depends upon its velocity of combustion, calorific value and space used for combustion. If velocity of combustion is very low, then required high temperature may not be possible because part of heat liberated may go out instead of raising the temperature. Velocity of temperature should not be very high. Fourth, low percentage of non-combustible matter. After combustion of fuel, the non-combustible matter like ash or clinker remains behind, which also reduce heating value of fuel. Good fuel can have high calorific value only if it has low percentage of non-combustible matter. Fifth, product of combustion. The gaseous product of combustion of fuel should not pollute the atmosphere and should not harmful or poisonous for human lives. The gases like carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide are some of the harmful gases. Sixth, ease of transport. The good fuel is easy to handle, store and transport. Solid and liquid fuels can be transported very easily from one place to the another. On the other hand, transportation of gaseous fuel is costly and can cause fire hazard. Seventh, low cost. Fuel should be readily available in bulk at low cost. The cost of production, storage and transport should be low. Criteria of selection of fuel. Following factors are important while selecting the fuel for particular purpose. Number one, the fuel must have reasonable high velocity of combustion. It should have high calorific value. It must have proper ignition temperature. It must have low percentage of non-combustible matter. It must have low cost. It must be available in the sufficient quantity and it must be easy for transport. This is about the point that is petrochemicals and criteria of selection of fuel. Thank you very much.